Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to sammallory.com. Today we're going to take another look at Sescom cables. Recently I did a video about regular Sescom cables, and if you're not familiar, a Sescom cable is sort of a regular looking cable that plugs out of your headphone output on a portable digital recorder and plugs into the microphone input on a camera. This is a mini DV camera, and they work with this kind of camera. They also work very well with video-enabled DSLR cameras, like the Canon 5D Mark II, the Lumix GH2, things like that. So you probably checked out that video. We all learned a lot. It was great. And then a company called MarkerTech, which sells Sescom cables, sent me this in the mail for free. And it's not the exact same kind of cable, it's a different one. This cable, as you can see, has a Y. It's what we refer to as a Y cable in the audio industry, as it were. But this is not a regular cable. Like a regular Sescom cable, it has a 25 dB pad. And what that means is the audio signal that passes through this cable, the volume is turned down on it by 25 decibels, which is a substantial amount of volume. The reason you want that is because the headphone output of your the headphone output of your portable digital recorder is line level, which is loud. And the microphone input on your camera is mic level, which is very soft. So if you send a very loud signal into a very soft signal, you get distortion. But if you have a cable that has a built-in 25 dB pad on it, you get a really nice sound. You get a good matched signal, and that's what you want. But what makes this cable different, as you can see, is this. This is a female 3.5 millimeter output, which is the same thing you got on your headphone output. And what this does, basically, is it enables you to listen to your sound when you record. Now, the basic thing that, just to go back a little bit, the basic thing that a Sescom cable does is allows you to use either the really good microphones on your portable digital recorder and record that directly into your camera, while recording onto the recorder as well, so you get two copies of sound. You get good sound in here and good sound in here. Problem is that oftentimes you don't need the microphone way back here at the camera. You want your microphone as close as possible to the sound source. I'm sure you've heard that 100 times by now. It's always going to be the case. So another great thing a Sescom cable does with something like the Zoom H4n is you're plugging your headphone output into the microphone input, getting a good sound, but you get two XLR inputs. So now you can use shotgun microphone, lavalier microphones, wireless microphones, whatever you got, professional style, XLR, record into here at a high bit rate and high sampling rate, and record a good sounding copy in your camera. And that's awesome. But here's the thing. You can't listen to it. You're using up your headphone jack. That's the one great thing a portable digital recorder gives you, is the headphone output. How many DSLR cameras can really use a headphone output? All of them. So you're giving that up by using a Sescom cable. But if you use this kind, now you get your headphone output back. So I'm going to consume the headphone output here, plug into the headphone output on the H4n, and I'm going to plug into my microphone input over here. Boom. Perfect size cable. And now look at this. I've got a headphone output, so I can plug my headphones in right here. Pardon me while I go grab my headphones. So now you got the whole enchilada. You got headphone monitoring right here. You've got either good stereo microphones for ambient recording or music recording, or XLR inputs. You're going to make a high quality recording on the device itself, and also send a high quality recording into the camera as well, and be able to hear what you're doing, at least the sound that's being recorded into this portable digital recorder, you're going to know what you're getting here. You won't know what it sounds like in here, but hey, it's a cable. You don't get everything in the world, do you? So anyway, I want to do my best and try and do a little test for you, and we'll try this out. Okay, so right now I am standing exactly 6 feet in front of the video camera. Again, this is a mini DV camera, and it's made by Panasonic. I believe the model is the GS200. It's from about 2004. And, you know, it sounds okay. The built-in microphone I find on this camera is okay. But let's hear what it sounds like. We're going to switch over now to the Sescom cable with the headphone output. And the audio that you're going to be hearing is going to be coming directly from the built-in stereo microphones on the Zoom H4n. So let's go ahead and change over now. Okay, now you're hearing the sound that's coming from the microphones that are built into the Zoom H4n. They're going through the Sescom cable and they're plugging into the microphone input on this mini DV camera. And again, this also works with video-enabled DSLRs. It sounds better, but you know, you can still hear the room. The reason that you're hearing so much boominess in this room is that the microphones are way back there on the camera. They are nice microphones that are built into the Zoom H4n, but if they're far away from the sound source, it's not really going to sound great. So we're going to go ahead and switch over now. We're going to use the XLR inputs. Okay, now I am wearing a lavalier microphone. It's a wired Tram TR50, and it's plugging into an XLR input on the Zoom H4n. So let's hear real quick what I sound like again with just the built-in microphone. Check 1 2, check 1 2. This is what I sound like with the built-in microphone on this mini DV camera, and once again, back to the lavalier. Check 1 2 1 2. This is what I sound like with a Tram TR50 wired lavalier going into the Zoom H4n through the Sescom cable into the mini DV camera, or if this was a video-enabled DSLR, I would be going into that, but I don't have one of those, so I'm using this. So let's hear what it sounds like using a hypercardioid microphone, which is similar to a shotgun microphone, but it's different because we're indoors. So you want to use a hypercardioid. Let's hear that. Okay, now I am recording with a hypercardioid microphone. The model of this microphone is the Technica AT4053B, and I'm holding it right here in my hand. Usually this would be on a boom. Right about here, the sound person would skillfully hold this right out of the frame, and that's what it sounds like with a hypercardioid microphone. Okay, this is what it sounds like just using the built-in microphones on the camera. And we're back. We're back. I'm going to go ahead and plug in now the lavalier so we can hear the lavalier and the hypercardioid going into the Zoom H4n at the same time. Okay, so now we have the full coverage. I've got the Tram TR50 here on my hoodie. I've got my Technica 4053B hypercardioid microphone. Both of these mics are plugged in via XLR cables into Zoom H4n, which is sending this feed from the headphone output of the portable digital recorder through a Sescom cable. Sescom cable is plugging into the microphone input on the camera, and I'm monitoring on my headphones because I have the kind of Sescom cable that has that special output. To be exact, the cable the cable I'm using, the model number that has this special headphone jack, is the LN2MIC-ZMH4-MON. So there you have it. Now you understand the fruits of the Sescom cable with the headphone output. And this works for, you know, the Canon 5D Mark II 7D. This is going to work for the new T3i, D7000. If you own a Lumix GH2 by Panasonic, they make a different cable for that. It's the same exact thing, except for on the microphone input side, you get a 2.5 millimeter input that works with the sub-mini input on that camera. So GH2 owners, you are not left in the dark, you are included and you are special. So anyway, thank you for watching this video. Come back to sammallory.com soon. I'm going to have more stuff like this. I'm obsessed with audio equipment, obsessed with video production, and obsessed with trying to up my game so I make a better quality thing with my life. So that's it. That's the Sescom cable with the headphone output. Thank you, MarkerTech, and thank you for watching this, and thanks for participating at sammallory.com.